How do you like to approach your training? You know, you got that high effort, like like Ben Howard. He likes that high intensity, not training as frequently. We'll say majority of the times out of the year from what I spoke to him. I don't know if things have changed now. And then you have like this super high volume, 6 days a week kind of training. Where are you relative to that spectrum? Where do you kind of lie, and how do you like to do things?
I'd say I'm closer to the low volume end. I tend to lean more that way. And I used to be really high volume. You know, since I've started bodybuilding, I literally went in 2 years ago with zero understanding. I was, you know, just sort of floating around doing bits and bobs. And looking back on it, I kind of think the sessions that I was doing in the gym and, you know, the lack of plan or the lack of progression over time and just those sorts of things, I made a lot of mistakes with my training. But speaking to people over the last couple of years and say, you know, how did you build that? Or, you know, what do you do that helps you kind of build X, Y, or Z? Or how do you make this much progress? Has helped, because what I have done and what I did after, I guess it was after Worlds, so this last off season, was I made a note of cutting junk volume, cutting those sets that you're just not really doing anything with. It's just filling up time in the gym, and it gives you a nice pump and it makes you feel good. But they don't really build the muscle. And I think that's what I've learned a lot, is it's all about the intensity. In terms of my training, I've built it back up to 5 days a week, but I did drop down to 4 days a week after, well, in the off season, because I noticed that as my sessions were getting progressively heavier and harder, it was taking more of a toll on my body. Before the competition, I was training 5 times a week, and that was pretty standard. I generally do that. But as I find that I'm struggling to recover, even though I've got the food going in, even though I'm focusing on, you know, sleep and all the other things that you need to do, if my training is just too intense to keep up with the 5 times a week, I can scale it back a little bit and just focus on the areas that I'm trying to improve. In terms of what I am doing, I'm only squatting once a week now. I'm only doing one sort of quad focused leg day, and then I do the hamstrings again with another hip hinge in with my back day at the end of that, because I still feel that I need to bring those up as an area.
Are you doing one or two sets kind of closer to failure per exercise? Is that kind of how you're doing things now? Or is it like still 3 sets, but it's just proximity to failure is more managed versus just let me stop the set because I hit the random number that I chose?
Yes.